vem skulle vi då lita på? För vi får inte glömma att alla stjärnorna är liv. Liv som vi. Fast de lever i en annan värld. En värld av känslor. Där alla själar har en plats. I himmelen. I livets drömpalats. Utan stjärnorna. Utan stjärnorna, vad skulle våra hjärtan tro? Utan det som hjälper oss att se, hur skulle då vår kärlek gro? Utan stjärnorna, skulle du då kunna älska mig? Skulle du då känna dig trygg av att jag är nära dig? För vi får inte glömma att varje stjärna är ett liv. Liv som vi. Fast de lever i en annan värld. En värld av kärlek. Där du och jag kan finna ro. Aldrig sluta tro på den värld vi lever i. Utan stjärnorna.
Go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Rejoice, rejoice, God's ears are stitches. Oh, rejoice, his eyes are big axes. Oh, rejoice, his arms are burning witches. Oh, rejoice, his hands perform hexes. Rejoice despite the fact this world will hurt you. And rejoice despite the fact this world will kill you. And rejoice despite the fact this world...
Yeah. Game time. Wait, whoa. What's happening here? Back. Continue. Load this. Whoa. Oh, yeah, okay. This is right. I was like, wait a second. Yeah, this is exactly where we left off. Because we were going to reconvene. So. Perfect. Court will now reconvene. They didn't even spell court right. Look, it says court. That does not spell court. Court will now reconvene. Have the witness, Miss Oka, will recover. Oh, yes, Your Honor. Well, she's regaining consciousness. So I found out, apparently Kristoff is a German fellow. So instead of going, hey guys, this is my voice, I'm gonna switch him to be a German voice. So he's gonna be, he'll be, oh, perhaps we can hear her version of events again. Ooh, that's the thing, you see, he's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne.
Sadly, fatigue is insufficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss O'Reilly takes his stand.
Very well. The witness will take the stand.
Count. Oh, perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Ooh. Or perhaps you'd rather admit you're a poor liar and poor loser. You. Oh, no. Oh, she's a pirate. What was her voice again? Name's Olga O'Reilly. That's the truth. I'm a pro dealer. People call me
Olga Quickfingers O'Reilly. Oh, really?
I want to know something else. I'm not really Russian. And my name sounds like O'Reilly. There is the truth. I hope you are satisfied. I'm not Russian. I am Norwegian. Ha! Damn! Goddamn Norwegian again? Witness, will you tell the court what you were really up to that night? Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, you see.
Let me remind you that you are currently under oath. Any further fabrication will have serious consequences.
Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy, Smith, hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Bosch Bowling Club several days prior to the night of the game. As a waitress. So you were in cahoots with the victim. Not that I needed my help. Smith is a well poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the purpose of the game. It was only destroying the legend, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we were set up a trap of a sort. I was to plant a card in the right pocket before a hand, and then deal the 5 aces during one of our games. When the hand was revealed, Smith would call him out and search a right. He would then pull out the planted card, and the trap would be a snap a shot. You swapped cards. Exposed as a cheater and losing on top of it, I would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed and cheating would cast most doubt on all of his prior wins.
A 7-year legend destroyed by a one little card. That was the plan. Really? How droll. But it appears you made quite a mistake.
Mistake.
I agree. The trapper was elegant. No, that was the wrong voice. He's German. Yeah, I'm German. Okay. Oh, it was elegant. Yet, what happened at the planted card? Hey, that's right. He's a lucky. I'll give him that. You have to slip free from a trap played by Olga Quickfingers O'Reilly.
Oh, really? The witness would be much cuter if she dispensed with the evil mastermind shtick.
Acute? Who wants to be acute? I'm not acute. I'm a bad. You hear me? I'm a bad boy.
Bad? When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us about this trap and how it sprung.
Okay. The best laid traps. That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to, and Wright lost his hand, just like he was supposed to, and then Smith searched to him, but the planted card was gone, and the trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up the bottle and swung at it. It wasn't me who hit the Smith. It was the no-good, cheating defendant. So I have to break this up.
A surprising and frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the back.
The trap was perfect. I tell you, perfect. If it was a rotten cheater, hadn't messed it up. Whoa, look who's talking.
Well, the testimony, for what it's worth, it is all up to you, Mr. Justice.
With witnesses like her, who needs criminals? This is too good. Look at this, best joke of the day so far. Let me get, where is it? Where? Okay, It's too good. Full 13 seconds. And with defendants like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors? Do I have to do this whole laugh track again? It's too good! I'm gonna have to get the air horn in here. Comedy Central. You met your competition. It's not even competition. This stuff just blows it right out of the water. This is the funniest thing in the world. Okay. So the best laid trap A. Okay. She planted with some stupid cards. Lost his hand. When he's supposed to, Smith searched him. The plan card is gone. The trap failed. The next moment, blah blah blah, picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith, it was a no-good cheating defendant. Okay. I have an idea here. Skip! Oh, what's that? Save state? Just double check. Ah! Let me see what evidence I have. Okay. Yes, only one of the cards has a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy, but blues. So, not red, you know? Wow, thanks for frickin' nothing, game. Okay. So, you should... Okay, so the victim's hand's this one, which is... It does win. Nothing wrong there. Here. Cell phone. Okay. So that was a waste of time. Okay. Different personality. With the same testimony. I believe you have... I believe you just have her where you want her, Justice. The circumstances have changed, yet her testimony has not. That means there got to be a contradiction in there. Quite. Okay. Mr. Wright lost a hand, just supposed to search him, then Smith searched him. I think this might be it. So I'm gonna press this. Okay. So, everything went according to plan. Exactly. The fifth ace came up, so it's obvious the switch went off without a hitch. Once the extra card was found in his pocket, Wright would be forever known as cheat and a fraud.
There's no worse things to be known as, I suppose.
Tell us what happened with the search. The planned card was gone. Failed. Card. Disappeared.
Yeah, my trump card, the 5 of hearts. Gone, without a trace. Poof, zippo.
The 5 of hearts, eh?
We have searched every nook and cranny, even inside the cute little hat.
The card is nowhere to be found, is this correct?
Never in my long storied career have the quick fingers O'Reilly ever really duped.
Oh, really? So, what did that happen to the 5 of hearts?
Don't look at me. Why don't you ask the cheating, lying, two-faced defendant?
So the 5 of hearts is still missing in action. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. Wait, isn't that a little odd?
What's it odd?
Searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing. Which means he didn't cheat. Which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Well...
What was that just now? I sensed something.
Something wrong, Mr. Justice.
No, nothing, Your Honor. Oh, what to do? Should I press her a little harder? I'm gonna press her harder.
Miss O'Reilly, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about? You... me? A quick fingers O'Reilly? Hide something?
Dude, the defense is refrained from the baseline accusations. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment of the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true. I did see it. Honest. I saw it when Mr. Wright hit him.
Did you? With my own eyes, I saw it. What was that weird vibe I'm getting? That witness, for instance, Miss O'Reilly. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? I did. Touching her neck was it. Whoa, what's going on? The sensation.
It's coming into focus!
There, that twitch.tv/Stanberg that you should all follow, like, subscribe, and tell all your friends about is so clear.
It's like I could perceive her habit like I couldn't before. Proceed.
Actually, let me... There we go. Good. Miss O'Reilly, perhaps you are unaware of this for yourself. Unaware of what? Whenever you get a certain part of your testimony, touch the back of your neck with your left hand. My neck? So what? This guy's German, What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of her testimony, she subconsciously recalls something. Her body reacts to the memory. And she touches her neck. She's like, ew! I'm sure of it. Ew, a memory! Would someone care to explain what he's babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have evidence of this memory to show us.
Her habit is scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of a crime. So, what would remind her of the moment of the crime? Miss O'Reilly, whenever you recall that crime that night, you scratch your neck. You notice it happened when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be a reason behind that habit of yours. I believe the weapon that left an inseparable impression on your neck is this. Safe thing. It can't be the bottle. Whenever she talks about the moment of the crime, she touches her neck. And what reminds her most of the moment of the bottle? The murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. If you were the witness to the crime, why would you make that make you touch your neck like you're in pain? Goo, what's he talking about now? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit, not you. This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wild conjuncture. The witnesses they're completely irrelevant. Justice, I'll admit, I'm a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'm John and Cha. Oh, I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now's our only chance to break her. Miss O'Reilly, please testify in detail about the moment of the crime. The very moment. Oh, Knight, I know nothing. Goo. We know you're not Russian.
The witness will testify, please. No.
So dramatic. But, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight. The cop got there. Whoa! You seem uneasy. You try sitting up here? Your eyes are darting all over the place. I must be getting warm. Tell me, after the crime, what was the defendant like? Well, he must have been stunned by the weight of his crime. He sat in a daze at the table until the cops came. Intriguing. I believe you've gotten all your testimony you're going to get out of the witness. So, what do you think about her testimony? I'll tell you what I think. Her testimony is flawed. It's basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. Yo, what the?
Well, show us this evidence, Mr. Justice.
Oh, this is the easiest evidence of my life.
Then we said you couldn't contradict your testimony.
Well, she didn't let me hit him out of her sight until the cops got there. I know there's some evidence that contradicts that. It's 100% this. I'm 100% sure. I'm gonna scum save. I'm gonna present it. I know it's right. Miss O'Reilly, we have on record that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by a report from the defendant. Huh? And we know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made the phone call from the first floor of the Wash Bowl Club? So, explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant. When he left the room entirely? Oh, that was a lobster? I thought that was borscht.
Borscht.
The man who picked up a bottle and swung it at the night wasn't the defendant. Wait, actually. Sometimes these need to be like... Okay, this... I thought maybe it was gonna be better than that, but I thought maybe it was gonna be both, but might as well just look at this. Showdown time! What? You dirty cheat. Check his pockets. Now! May I see? It's gone! The card's gone! What the hell? You lose.
Gerg.
Just so then, Smith grabbed the bottle from the next to the right, and he hit to me. Ka-chop! You master of cheating, you turned out to be... Whoa. When I came to, the victim was already dead.
Oh, the victim was already dead. Is that it?
Oh, that's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in the league with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure.
Well, where does this leave us?
Madness! This is madness! I'm dreaming! It must have been me who was hit with the bottle. I'm imagining all of this.
Where's the prosecution at this wit's end? And frankly, I can't blame him. Mr. Gavin, what do you think about this turn of evidence?
Huh. Mr. Gavin, sir? I believe that, as a defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss O'Reilly a big fat liar. What? Three were in the room the night of the murder. The defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? A plot foiled. The witness got in an argument into the client, Miss Smith, and announcement of the argument was a murder. What? I didn't. No, I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone's trying to frame me. What tangled webs we weave when we practice to deceive. So tangled we catch ourselves in the process.
Mr. Wright.
Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider the other possibility? That there was another person in the room at the time of the murder? Well, right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess. Single card. Swapped it to the victim's hand after the murder. That one who swapped the card didn't know two colors of cards were being used. A fourth person? Yeah, this is theory again. Your fourth person doesn't exist. Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. Perfect place to catch the real criminal.
The real criminal.
And we're in luck. Clue to the real criminal's identity was kindly provided for us. Right at the beginning of the trial, no less. What? Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Remember what I said. The fourth person who swapped the card made one critical error. He or she wasn't considering the color of the backs of the cards. Yeah, right, but how could such an obvious mistake come? The card you used for the last card game was red. Yet, there's one person here in our court who thought those cards were blue. Yeah, I had that impression too, but why? Well, Apollo, think. Can you figure out who it was? No, it's not me, I swear!
Who's the fourth person?
Why do I always get put in a spot like this? Let's see what the defense have to say. Who was it? Who thought the card game was used if the finals were blue? You. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say this guy. You're the only one. Apollo, do you seriously think that? As I expected! Your eyes and ears are as sharp as your hair. Ah, I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the fourth person that night. But, of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of cards. How could he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue, and the ones on the floor and the table. But look! You can see the colors in the photo. Yeah, but that's what he said the cards were blue. Well, before the evidence came into light. It is true that the defendant was engaged in a game of poker and he pants with the victim. Yet, it was only that, a game, the pure sense, a competition, Your Honor. Ooh, a competition? Yeah, a test of wits, a solid clash of passions. Only cards on the backs, wretches and blue flames. Ugh, it's hard to do German. No, it's final outcome. Well, Christoph? Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, there's something of the matter.
Yeah, like, this kind of came out of the blue.
No matter. Excuse me, it was just so sudden. Right, you aren't seriously accusing me, are you?
Oh, Christoph. You know, even I'd never take that joke this far.
This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb. This is insanity. The defendant is accusing his own defense attorney of murder.
I assure you, I'm quite sane.
But what possible connection could Mr. Gavin have to this victim?
Wasn't aware of that. Not a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Oh, yes, Mr. Gavin and the victim have never ever met.
Well, what if they have?
Huh?
There's a possibility, after all. They have met that night, before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is it the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, the defense would like to request that you testify to the court.
The defense would like... the defense would like to request no such thing.
Mr. Gavin?
The testimonies were related to the case. How could anything happen before the game of poker be related?
I'm not sure I follow Mr. Gavin.
As I explained before, the defense believes that Mr. O'Reilly...
I'm to assume you speak to one Mr. Justice in this. He's the defense, not you. Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
Oh, okay. Gulp.
Does the court of your opinion need to hear Mr. Wright's testimony?
I wish there was a faster way I could swap between these layouts. This was Mr. Wright's strategy. He's planning it all along. I intend to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court.
To justice? You would betray me, your teacher?
I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. It's about the truth.
Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please.
Appetite for before murder. That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. We sat at the table in the photograph. J.D. Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Mr. Smith hit the waitress. It girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming out of the cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to Defense Attorney Gavin.
Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Ball Club the night of the murder.
I dine with him rather frequently.
You and they talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder?
Quite against my will. I had become involved in a murder. I thought I might need a lawyer, so I called him.
You were planning this all along, weren't you, right? Just because you wanted to drag me to your little murder trial.
The only thing I want is the truth. As I did back then, and as I do now. The truth is all I want.
I thought my office was doing you a favor when I took on your defense. It appears that I was wrong.
Very well, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice.
Sir?
He's lying. You're going to expose him. You're going to expose him, yeah.
Understood, sir. Well, Mr. Gavin versus Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? Appetite for destruction. Okay. Okay, so let's do some pressing. About the failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga really mentioned? Yeah, the plan's simple, elegant, really, blah, blah, blah. You see, the trap sorts. Plant a card in the hand, and then da-da-da-da-da. Scooby-Doo, and there was no card, yeah. There was no card. You swap the cards. Just like that, those pieces. Say right? Yes, a harmless prank in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I'd happened to discover it.
Do a quirk?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. The card she planted. Yeah, I snuck a peek at it and found out it was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card. For the game.
Where? Dispose of it. Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
Do an empty bottle of grape juice?
The murder weapon? That means there should be a card in there. Yeah, I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
A battle with between a deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like a terrific drama.
The card inside the murder weapon. That's strange. The police missed it in their investigation. Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Wright, the Booker, head of the courtroom 3, approves of the battle of police. Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I think I have to press this again. Why in the bottle? I perceive my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see? I knew what was coming.
So you struck him first. I like that.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me. At least when you get lucky and stick your hands in your pockets, they don't. Okay. Wait. You made a call to the police from the first floor of the restaurant, correct? Exactly. Cell phones don't get signal down when in the hideout. Was anyone else on the floor at the first time? Not a soul. It was the middle of the night, after all. So there, in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. Didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone. Okay. And when you returned, the victim was already dead. Yeah. I admit, I was a little startled when I walked in.
A little.
He was bleeding from the forehead, after all. Well, I guess it's startled, too, if I walked into that. Okay, am I supposed to... Mr. Wright, if I may. Yeah? I've examined the bottle, and I don't see any card in here. No?
Mr. White, surely isn't all your to save yourself.
I can't say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in the bottle, however. Huh? Huh, perhaps the fifth person came and took it out? Oh, and I'm the sixth person could have helped, yeah.
Mr. Gavin, Mr. White is your client.
Oh, my apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle, there was nothing.
So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Or did the card just disappear?
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradicts the call for decisive evidence.
Oh. Push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Ugh, why do you get the feeling we're not on the client's side anymore? That evening, Christoph and I had dinner and sat at the table of the photograph. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin? Yeah, he dines with me at the Borscht Bowl quite frequently. You're enjoying the usual dinner in the usual spot, as usual. Usual, huh? I always eat at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mrs. Smith is sitting.
So the plates and such on your table were from your dinner?
Indeed. The remnants of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2 hours, and then Christoph left. After that... Okay. 5 minutes. So, the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time. That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Go, Mr. Wright. What was it that you said? Christoph Gavin and Shady Smith may have met?
I believe I did say that.
Dude, here I was all nervous about the meeting. And now they want to hear they just pass in the hall?
That does seem a little weak pretext for murder.
Oh, it would be, if that was what really happened. Come on, Mr. Wright. Where are you hiding this time? I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle. But we have the bottle.
Objection!
But there's no, we already did this, right? Right? Won't add this. Or did the card disappear? Okay, we have to think about the card. In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid to blah 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 blah. Oh. The girl was knocked out. I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card in the bottle. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. What evidence do I have? What else is there in this? Used by the defendant to notify the police of the restaurant on the first floor. There's something here? In this? Oh, because there's like a million different bottles. Right? It's maybe not in this bottle. I discovered the trap in the game and disposed it in... See, so what I'm gonna do is come save. And then I'm gonna present this photo.
Objection! Objection!
Eh? Nope. I am so happy I could do this. My god.
Objection!
I could just do all of it.
Objection!
The girl was knocked out cold. Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. Does this look like an uncontrollable man? Mmm. Maybe. Damn. Why in the bottle? I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. Oh yeah, okay. He's in three. Maybe I'd have to press this? You made a call to the police from the first floor, correct? Yep. Oh yeah, no one was there. The restaurant made a call, returned there. And when you returned, the victim was already dead, yeah. That's when I made another phone call. Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin? Yeah, I need to get a lawyer, right? And ready for my defense fee. I'm glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was one who got you involved after all. Oh, you may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high. Is this the truth? Is the right talking about? Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying. Expose him now. Yeah, sir. I have to think. What's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with the testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere. I don't know if you even pressed this. Did I? You had dinner with Mr. Gavin. Yeah. We go there all the time. Usual. I always eat. Yeah, okay. 5 minutes. So, the two of them could have passed the restaurant during that time. It would have been a fateful encounter to be sure. Yeah, and then blah blah blah, DDD. Huh, what is it? What is it? I think it's here. But I'm not sure what it is. I have an idea. It has to be. The girl's knocked out cold. Maybe one of these photos? It's like, where's this girl? I really don't know. Objection! But I already showed the bottle here. See, like, we're here. Wait, just... resulting from cerebral hemorrhaging. I don't think there's blood from his head. Was there blood? No blood. I think he just got hit and died. There's no blood. Mr. Wright, if I may. Yep. Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See that victim there? He's wearing a hat. I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead. Good point. This guy. That's good. Ha! Justice! Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph in it.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this court?
Ah. I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put the hat on his forehead. Eh? You?
Put the hat on the dead man's head.
He wore it throughout our entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned to the scene of crime, his head was in full view, shining bright, just like in the photograph.
When?
I picked his hat up off the ground floor, put it on his head.
Why did you do a thing like that?
All I can say is I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I touched in the crime scene. So, you really didn't see it. It being the victim's head. I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the one who witnessed his head. Here we go again. Mr. Gavin. Pardon. It seems our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Hey.
Whoa, hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin.
This is the witness's testimony. It's more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how we came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your clients, Kristoff. I never knew.
Yeah, I believe it was you who threw the first stone.
Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. Heh. When I noticed the trap, I put the card in a bottle to dispose of it. When I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well.
What reason?
That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night, you called that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case I recorded our conversation.
Oh, what is that?
Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in a bit of trouble.
Oh, what is this? Game's not going well, yeah?
Something like that.
That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good?
Turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard.
You mean he cracked that flawless bone chin plate? Oh, it wasn't you, was it?
Me? Please.
The cops should be here any minute.
I'm in your hands.
Should it come to that? Bone china plate? What kind of porcelain? Very smooth and shiny.
And not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead.
The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating his forehead.
Wait a sec. Something's not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club. Oh, certainly. Then, how did he know? When did he see this bone china plate, or pate?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. That was when we began to see my good friend in a different light. Trouble. I returned to the crime scene. When I spotted Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was gone. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court. Exactly how did you come to your privileged knowledge of the victim's head?
So this is your reason? The reason why you put me in the victim's hat back on?
Your point, Mr. Gavin?
It's because I down to the has at Phoenix Friday.
Order! I will have order. Mr. Payne.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has written left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony? Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes. After which, Mr. Gavin will take the stand for cross-examination. Are we clear for that?
Oh, crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well. This will be the final recess for the day.
April 20th. Same day, different time. Defense Court Lobby 3. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. Who would have thought today would turn out like this? May I? What the hell? Wizard? Huh? What? Hello, sir. Please pick a card. What the hell is this all about? Is this one alright? Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand's about to be played. You need a trump card to make it. A trump card, you say? The card you've chosen is magic. Oh. Use it wisely and the game's yours, I guess. That's all. Ace. Where do I remember that card from?
Mr. Smith had 3 aces and Mr. Wright had 2. It was a 5 ace all over. It's true. I'd have seen it. The 5th ace. It was cheating, I swear to you.
Missing 5th ace. Wait. Box of red. Is that blood? I love this person. Because I just like to play like, yeah, I don't care. This person's like, psh, you have your trump card. Now it's your... it's up to you to cut that deck and draw. The truth, I guess. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. Who the hell was that? This bloodstained card. It's my trump card for finding the truth. Who dat? Angry. I fell into a deep thought as my mind raced to understand what this is all meant. Girl. Seen her recently. Where? That's when I made the connection. When she said her father.
Bloody ace added to the court record. Bloody ace. Right?
Same day, different time again. Same courtroom too.
Court is now ready to convene. Defense attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Dear Mr. Could the witness state your name and occupation?
Is this for us necessarily, Your Honor?
Now, believe me, Clark Stranger, things have gone on in this courtroom.
Fine. I'll play along.
First, there's one thing we need to make clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
A secret? I'm guessing he meant the fact that Mr. Smith was
Bald! Bald! That guy sucks, right? He sucks. Forgive my curiosity, but what is it that I hear the fellows had? Your Honor seems have made an inordinate interest in him, yeah?
I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright? What do you think you're doing here, Wright?
Wow, sure thing. To look a lot different from the other side, you know, where I mean Apollo. Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore a hat all the night, never once took it off except for that one time. That one time, being the instant when he was hit. When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order for it to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, it would have had to have been at the scene of the crime. At the time of the crime. In other words...
In other words, you would have to be the killer? Is what you're trying to say?
Not bad, Apollo.
Mr. Gavin.
I'm afraid that I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I'm the most noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet I'm afraid in the current situation, I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Finally, you begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the event of that fateful night?
That fateful night. As a rage I sensed in the man, the night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little windowy to the hideout. It must have been right about when the murder took place, yeah. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. A bald man and his unconscious girl, and right, holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that it's not the best place for me to be at the time, so I left. And then when I called, came from Mr. Right. And I was sent.
So you witnessed a murder?
But yeah, for better or worse, I missed the actual moment of his dead.
Mr. Gavin, remember on me that you're on Mr. Wright's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client.
What else could I say? I'm standing in the witness stand after all.
So you are, Mr. Gavin.
Whew.
You had to testify as just did it. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window. Mr. Wright? You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity, right, Apollo? Ooh.
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, what are you prepared?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Ooh, I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin.
This trial's getting weirder and weirder.
That fateful night. I went upstairs, peeked around a little window in the hideout. Okay. Little window? You mean the one you keep watch from upstairs?
Yeah, the relic of ancient past, the black marketers used it, I believe.
Why would you go through all the trouble of peeking through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier just to open the door and go in the room?
I didn't want to upset Mr. Wright, you see.
Upset Mr. Wright?
Yeah, what if my fears had been unfounded? I'd just been walking on their badges, bad form to say at least.
So far, everything he's saying makes sense. How do you know it was right after murder?
Really, no need to shout justice. I was just getting to the part of my testimony.
Ah, there he is. Coolest defense in the West. We know and love. Even when you're standing up there, you know on witness stand. Something never changed.
I was afraid you changed too, right? But you haven't. You and your overbearing personality views.
With friends like these, who needs an enemies? The victim was dead, and he appeared in the photo. As he appeared in the photo. By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene.
Oh, yeah, precisely. Yeah, you see he wasn't wearing his hat set. I saw his head, and when he was dead.
And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat.
Can you describe the scene of the crime to us?
Okay. Bald head and unconscious girl, Wright holding a bottle in his hand. Those were the only three at the scene of the crime?
Yeah, as far as I saw at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant, Phoenix Wright, who is dead Ben. But why didn't it take a call to the police?
This guy. 2 reasons.
Oh, yeah, 2 reasons. Firstly, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Wright. Even after seeing what I had been seeing, I couldn't abandon my friend.
Objection!
There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime.
Justice, I just said I saw no one, not a soul. But that goes against what Mr. Wright said. Oh, yeah, this mystery theory 4-person, yeah. Who could conveniently be the real killer, I suppose, oh, yeah.
Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin.
Let me pose a question, sir. Tell me, what possible reason did a real killer have to swap cards with the victim had? Huh? Perhaps you could show us the reason why such a thing would be necessary.
How could I show something? Can't find myself. Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out with the 5th ace. The 5th ace. Right.
Well, Mr. Justice, the question is why the killer would swap out a card with Ray's. Can you point out the reason?
I will show my evidence. Now or never, the defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why the card was swapped out.
Then go ahead and point out the reason, Mr. Justice. Why did the killer take the 5th ace?
Blood. My reason is, this!
Is that an ace?
Why, it's the blood on it! Right next to the spade!
What?
This is insane! Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be the face?
This is inconceivable. How could you? Oh, what are you doing with that card?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Oh, why is Mr. Gavin so freaking upset? It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl. Oh, that card? Yeah, it's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder at a grenade. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are a stock and trade, after all.
No, this is impossible and unacceptable. The court cannot accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
Fraud? How can you be so sure?
What?
I would think that the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. You see his face twitch? What if the trace of blood was the reason?
Dude, the reason for
The killer to take the card from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
Take another look at the photo and the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his hat fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head. Could a drop of blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. The killer then took the card and hid the blood.
Regardless, that evidence is not permissible. Oh, right. Regardless of how wasted 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. Who knows this is serious crime is concealed evidence, yeah.
Oh, we can discuss the finer points of our legal system later. What's important now is that I answered your question.
What are you talking about?
You want to know why the killer would want to take the card from the crime scene? And now I got told you. One drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see.
This is baseless. Conjecture baseless.
Oh, I assure you, it's quite based.
What?
It's amazing, really? How a single drop of blood in a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yeah, by picturing the scene of crime. In your head. Murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim is found in the poker table. And, before the killer swapped the card out, bam! There was a single card dropped blood on the victim's hand. Given this, there's one decisive problem with the scene.
Well, where is this?
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victims? The killers? The witnesses? A freaking second witness? Whose position doesn't fit with the bloody card? Oh, gotta switch over here. Another little scum save. Okay. The second witness position is a problem.
The second witness. That would be Mr. Gavin, yes.
The second witness position is far less problematic than yours now, Justice. Or perhaps perilous is a better word, yeah?
Woo. Oh. Well, for one thing, the killer's in the wrong place, I think.
You think? Mr. Festus, your job here is to not think, but to know.
The witness's location is clearly at odds with something. No. Well, isn't it the victim's position the problem?
I don't follow your logic, Mr. Justice.
Well, look, the victim's stuck in the back of the head, sending him back in his chair. You'd think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him. Take a look at the photo again. Look at this photograph. If he bled in this position, the blood would fall onto the floor, not onto the cards.
Why, that's right! So what does this mean?
Incidentally, we were sitting on swivel chairs.
Swiveling chairs? Whoa, man!
Apollo, try turning the chair around. I'm facing a different way.
This is facing the other way.
It would have been. So, we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair was facing from the table.
When Mr. Wright returned from inform the police, which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the blood was facing as seen in the photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Ha! Let's just take a next step. Look at the diagram one more.
So damn hot in here.
I don't care if it's loud. We know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder, but it creates another significant contradiction.
You again?
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose locations on the diagram contradicts our new understanding of the crime? The victims, the killer, the witness, the second witness, whose location creates a contradiction if the victim is facing away? That doesn't make sense, is the second witness.
Huh, you mean to say you don't make a sense?
Oh, no, of course you were, sir.
As I thought.
Victim struck from front, correct? Indeed. Well, wouldn't it be hard for the killer to hit him from the front,
Sitting where he indicated clearly?
I think it'd be quite hard, so yes.
Yes, but you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Oh, the victim was struck while sitting in this shown here. Where would his assailant be standing? I'm making the diagram.
What? But
there is no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of crime. That's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. Where would the killer have be standing to strike our victim in the front? The killer had to be standing, well, here.
you get points for flair, but that's all you absolutely get.
Well, I thought it was something there too.
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible. The victim's facing a solid cupboard. Or you claim the killer climbed on the cupboard and hit him from above. Hey.
Simple logic, really. If this was the only way the killer could have been standing, then that means, at the very moment of the crime... Wait, I know. At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there.
What's that now?
I mean, the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately. Have them try to move the cupboard.
Your Honor? What?
What?
There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes. Well, I see. You do belong in this courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I do my best. Let's forge ahead here, while we wait. Look at the diagram once again. Been changed. The killer's standing there at the time of the crime. Then this cupboard wasn't there, which means... Apollo, try moving the cupboard. My god, thank you. As you see, the cupboard is the problem. At the time of the murder, that has been shown here. Now everything in this place now reconstructs the moment of the crime.
Oh my!
What's this?
What's it now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we found yet another contradiction. What I believe to be the final contradiction fact. Huh? Whoa, dang. Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Now, really, now then, Mr. Justice, please point a new contradiction indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator should know the diagram presented you having been the crime?
This one. About this cupboard. Are we okay with assuming it was moved? Yeah, sure, why not? Well, it was. Something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would completely cover the window of the stairs. That's right. Someone standing outside the window wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin.
What? What did you say?
Oh, is the coolest of friends in the West End losing his cool?
Oh, don't expect me to play along with your little games, right?
It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. Someone was. Well, the window to the room was blocked by a cupboard. Huh. So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court exactly where did the witness of the crime say from?
Oh, shit.
Hey, excuse me, Your Honor. Order in the courtroom of the law and habits of order.
We just received a word from the investigation team at the Borscht Club. They examined the cupboard and the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh, and what did they find?
Well, Your Honor, turns out there was a secret patch behind it, eh?
What?
Ah, yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. It's one of the tricks in the rooms that many of our regulars know about. Well, I don't remember him saying something about that, now that he mentions it. A secret passage handy thing to have when you're engaging in illegal going-ons and whatever. Never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law. So, the room is a secret passage. Where to go? The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Just like our killer. You see our line of simple deduction reasoning has led us, Apollo? Well, I see. I don't believe it. The girl wasn't kidding when she said you needed this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked, and the victim's hat was only off for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place would have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin?
Come on, just say something for Christ's sakes. Dare I ask you really what happened that night?
Actually, I think we can probably figure out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. There, he crouched, hidden in the secret passageway beneath the cupboard. Holding his breath, waiting just for the right moment, and then the chance came. He took it.
Wait here, I can help.
His old goal really was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But the time was soon to come. Mr. Wright went upstairs and called the police, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with an unconscious dealer. Then, our killer stepped out from the secret passage in the hideout. The victim must have heard the cover sliding inside. He was like, man, see? He wheeled the chair around to look and kerplap! After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized he needed to destroy the evidence. That single spot of blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him, he didn't have to linger any longer in the hideout than that. If he had, he might have noticed the card on the floor. And the fact that they were all red.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry to see these days come, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Wayne.
Yes, Your Honor.
The prosecution has will continue the investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, here is clear false suspicion.
What?
Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
Oh, no need to apologize. I've rather enjoyed myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand.
Good point, Mr. Gavin.
Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would even take it into such a low-grade parlor trick.
Excuse me.
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion.
Oh, of all suspicion? This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven any guilt or innocence here. What he has done is using illegal evidence to put blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence.
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing?
Of course. It's a bottle, for instance.
A bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking.
How did you intend to explain away the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprintsies. Am I right, Mr. Payne?
Good, actually, yeah.
The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down.
I seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court in the case demanded an explanation. I can think of only one reason that we would hold the bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottle from the bottle. Well, Your Honor.
See how the caught fish squirms through the last... Well, Apollo? Yeah. Ross seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure you can come up with a suitable explanation. Just like that. Yeah. How would anyone grab a bottle upside down? Other than that, guilt? Oh, don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one. Is there really another? Take another look at the court record. I believe you'll find a simple answer there, in plain sight. How about you just say the freaking answer?
Go on. It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with an unanswered question indeed. Well, Mr. Justice.
Mr. Gavin said that the court, in this case, demands an explanation. Which to me sounds like he's gonna be needing some freaking food. Don't worry, justice won't leave you until justice is done.
Perhaps the defense could carry a new license to court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle were upside down?
Wait, was I actually right? It's actually easy to show you. That explains, Your Honor. Place a bottle on the floor next to your chair.
Hey, excuse me, on the floor.
Yeah, now, reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair. Yeah, see? Actually just pick up the bottle with the neck. With your finger. Upside down! Upside down! Up! Ooh. Look at this photograph taken at the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor inside of the piano bench. Would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow, I can't believe it was that simple.
Frickin', it was that simple. Got him. What the hell? What? Got him.
I can't believe it was that simple.
Recall our dinner that night, evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual grape juice then, right? Dude. Basically, you used a bottle on the table to do the deed. But then, you must have remembered. So you went back and picked up one of the bottles from underneath the piano. And you switched the bottles. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon. My God.
Order! Order in the court. What do you have to say to me about all these crazy allegations?
Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection here. What? Oh, you claim that I switched the bottle? Where's your proof? Proof? Well, that's as I saw, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of the proof is quite empty.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Yes, I have your memo here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the floor. And here's one of the bottles in question.
Are you going to dust off the fingerprints too? I would be surprised if any of them were mine, but yeah.
This man probably wouldn't make such a novel mistake, true. The bottle wouldn't bear any trace of anything. Hey, Apollo. Yeah? Why don't you go ahead and examine the bottle? But why? Just freaking humor me. Okay, Mr. Wright. The bottle will solve the case once and for all. What? Whoa, that's some bottle. Wait, what happened here? There's something inside the bottle. What's this? My God. Ha! Zakhard, it can't be! You call that unpleasant woman's testimony from earlier? This will go, really. Yeah. Our little swindling Devochka. She was all like, that's right. I planted card him like I was supposed to, and Wright lost his hand and just got what was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone, and the trap has failed. Wait. This isn't. You're telling me this is a planted card that you disposed of? When you mentioned the piece of testimony? I have to put my hand in my pocket and found a card. Yeah, stuck a peek and found 5 cards. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game. Disposed? Where? No empty bottle. I just threw that crap over. I didn't give a damn. I threw it away, and I threw it in the ocean. I litter. 5 of hearts. This card. The bottles were swapped. The only thing. One who could have done that was the 4th person at the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Oh, he is angry. He's so angry. Why is he so angry? Look at how angry he is. Go. That is all.
Huh. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge was the event that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
Oh, that's wrong voice. That passes like my logic, straight and true. Unlike you, gay and fake. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction.
Huh. Fine. I'm glad we could have done this little tete-a-tete.
Frank, how do you say this? Whatever.
Dude, this is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
I believe it's time to finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin.
Dude, he admitted everything. The processing is his arrest now.
I see. Still one of us wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
Oh, none that we know of.
Miss Wright, have you anything to add?
Afraid I can't shed any more light on this matter.
About the fixer, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession, to be sure, and that's all we know about him.
Do I arrange for a follow-up investigation, Your Honor?
Good, Mr. Wright.
Yeah?
7 years. You still haven't lost your touch.
Christoph Gavin was a man that was much significance to me. Both of us a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed 2 things before I could confront him. First was a place where no injustice would be tolerated. This courtroom. Second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? A dark time is coming for our legal system. Twisting justice brought on by our very own court system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright? The work lies ahead of us. I, for one,
And I, for one, am looking forward to it. Me? Well, this seems to be a good time to announce the verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright,
not Quilty. Freaking... April 20th. Same day, later time. Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I didn't do a goddamn thing in there. All you in the corner, Mr. Gav, the killer. I couldn't have done it by myself. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability? Well, my ability? Yeah, your ability, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder if he means... Cyclops. I think it's Cyclops.
For I am.
Yeah. What weird vibe am I getting? What? What was that, Mr. Wright? You have to find the answer in the question yourself. Answer, right. It was full of questions with no answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come. Eh? Wait. You don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, reminds me. I met a girl whose picture is in your locket. That it was your kid or something. It was weird. Or your daughter, right? That's right. My daughter. You know, you were read about this locket. Eh? I took this off my neck at the night she died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. The truth is the locket really did belong to him. What? That's perjury. You testified. You said the locket was yours. I said no such thing, actually. Huh? I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. Little distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then, why? Why was the victim wearing the locket with a picture of your daughter inside of it? Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all. Well, I still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get laid away in handcuffs. Yo, Apollo. What's up? How about coming to work for me? You mean at the Right Code Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. I can't imagine that be true, but... Wait. Didn't you... You're not... Oh, I turned my badge, yeah. I'm not an attorney anymore. That incident 7 years ago. A legendary trial. And at the middle of all, man. Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left the law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in the court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? Talk about the evidence that you shouldn't have existed. An odd magician's trick. One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. Just seemed, well, too perfect. I bet it was the forged evidence was... You mean this? Don't you? I got this from your daughter, Miss Wright. Yeah, the card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left. Leaving the wrong card in its place, luckily for us.
Oh, the court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
Fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think that only the person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. My verdict had already handed down 7 years ago. Then you really... Yeah, I forged his card. Look, one look at this crime scene shouldn't have told you it wasn't real. But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney. Who's calling themselves an attorney? Apollo? What's true? Rumor is true? 7 years ago. None of that matters much now, does it? Yeah. I punched him. I punch you. It's your story from here on, Paolo. Perhaps I can help you turn to the next page. My office address. Drop in, if you like. Mr. Wright, I freaking hate your guts. Oh, how about your uppercut? Try yelling, take that, next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thanks for today. Had already a good time. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out of the door. And that's how my first trial ended. Oh, a lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day connects by a single thread of logic. I'll find it out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins. I beat the game. Sweet Jesus. A new episode has been added? Woo! Check it out. Let's just watch the little intro here just for the... Yes. Let's just see what happens here. Next time on Dan's stream. As long as we draw breath, the wheel of fate turns. Yeah, I wasn't expecting a guy to be pulling that cart. Spinning big crime and little crime together. When the wheel stops. You die. June 15th. So, that's a teaser for next time. So, it is now Price is Right time. Get waving, y'all. That was enjoyable, huh? Who dis? What wheel? So many questions, and only one answer. Coming to Dan's stream next time. Next time you come to Dan's stream. Next time. Yeah, Gary.